power to rectify that by asking sa redirect questions. Usually papaklarify bakit may mali, bakit ganon. So I mean without hindi ko pinapangunahan sila pero part 'yon ng any lawyer's training po.
Yes, and as a lawyer, I believe hindi ka pwede magsalita nito pero parang humina ba ang kaso laban kay Vice President?
Nako, bago natin umpisahan ng day 2 ng week 2 ng impeachment trial na itong si Vice President Sara Duterte dyan sa Senado. Update ho muna tayo dito kay Atty. Tunggol, spokesperson ng impeachment court. Pero bago yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button, nandyan lang ho sa baba. Recap ho muna tayo mga kababayan. Dito sa ating recap, magkakaroon tayo ng puntusan pa rin, di ba? Unang puntos, ibigay ho natin sa defense. Siyempre, di ba? Unang puntos, ibigay natin sa defense dahil lumabas ho doon sa nangyaring trial kahapon na itong si attorney, ang pangalan ng abogado nila, Attorney Lotok, talagang marami hong butas ang kanyang testimonya. No, marami hong kabalbalang ginawa. Mantakin nyo, typo sa affidavit, typo sa date, ang dami ho niyan typo. At dahil dyan, dahil sa mga typo na yan, plus 3 ho tayo sa defense. Yan. Ang prosecution naman, bibigyan din naman natin ng 1 puntos dahil doon sa kaipalan nitong si, ang pangalan ng abogado nila? Basta ang abogado nilang kontra sa defense. So, bigyan natin ng 1 puntos. Dahil diyan, natapos ho yung impeachment trial kahapon na wala ho silang nakukumbinse ni isang Pilipino na paniwalaan ng naratibo ng mga taga-prosecution. Sa tingin ko, pati itong si Atty. Reggie Tunggol, hindi rin siya naniniwala sa mga kabalbalan ng prosecution. Kaya ito na, pakinggan natin kung anong aasahan natin ngayong araw na to dyan sa impeachment trial ni VP Sara sa Senado. Yay.
The Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian opened the session at exactly 2 p.m.
Ito ang pinaka solidong trabaho diyan sa Senado. Ika nga wala siyang kaaway. Basta siya dadaldal lang diyan sa podium, tatanungin ng konti ng mga media at boom, pera na. Ganun lang ho kadali.
p.m. on July 13, 2026 with 18 senators present constituting a quorum. The court noted the following administrative compliances. On the compliance with the court's order last July 6 regarding the issuance of the subpoena duces tecum for the BIR, the AMLC, and the specified banks, the respondent's memorandum was received by the impeachment court today, July 13, 2026 at 1:52 p.m. The House Panel of Prosecutors memorandum was received by the impeachment court via email today, July 13, 2026 at 7:38 p.m. The presiding officer reminded the parties to prepare for oral arguments on Wednesday, July 15, 2026 for 10 minutes.
Oral argument ho ito mga kababayan. Ito ho yung madugo talaga. Dito na ho natin makikita ang kinang netong si Attorney Sheila.
Each. On the compliance of the House Prosecution Panel with the court's order today to submit to the court the documents to prove the request of NBI Chief Attorney Melvin Matibag to be scheduled to testify this week. The House Prosecution Panel submitted the letter from Director Matibag dated July 10, 2026, and the official invitation from the FBI dated June 24, 2026 to the impeachment court today, July 13 at 3:41 p.m. As to preliminary manifestations and motions, Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo asked if the defense will present any evidence to prove the mentioned Operation Romanov. He also asked the meaning of the statement of the defense that the Vice President's response was unconventional. The House Prosecution Panel manifested the conflict of schedule of their witness, Attorney Melvin Matibag, and requested that he be presented tomorrow before Attorney Zuleika Lopez and Director Belinda Bello's testimony. As to the presiding officer, he reiterated that the prosecution manifested last week after he asked if Attorney Matibag is scheduled this week, to which he answered in the affirmative. The presiding officer, the Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian expressed his concerns that the sudden surprise is unfair to the senator judges as they have already studied for the scheduled witnesses to be presented this week. He also asked that he is made to appear on Monday since there is a flight to Bangkok at night. The presiding officer, after initially deferring the resolution, eventually ruled that NBI Director Attorney Matibag shall be presented on Monday, July 20, 2026, subject to continuance of his cross-examination on another date. As to the presentation of evidence in chief for Article 4, the prosecution proceeded with its evidence in chief and presented its second witness, NBI investigator Jeremy Lotok. Direct examination was conducted by Prosecution Counsel Attorney Amando Ligutan, followed by cross-examination by Defense Counsel Mark Vinluan. Senator judges actively interpolated the witness. For media reference, the inquiries centered in three primary evidentiary themes. Theme number 1, legal elements and assessment of grave threats. Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros and Senator Judge Joel Villanueva probe the NBI's evaluative standards and criteria for concluding the existence of a grave threat. Inquiries focus on the necessity of proving the threat was real and whether the presence of conditions attached to the alleged statements or the respondents' subsequently stated excuses legally negate the elements of a grave threat. Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo, on the other hand, questioned the witness regarding his specific expertise in formal threat assessment, his reliance on investigators' notes, the NBI's determination of motive, and whether the Bureau considers this as an airtight case. Theme number 2, verification of the alleged contracted individual. Senator judges rigorously scrutinized the investigation surrounding the allegation of a contracted individual. Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian and Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo questioned whether the NBI definitively established the existence or non-existence of the alleged hitman. Inquiries focus on the exact timeline of when this individual was allegedly contracted relative to the incident involving Attorney Zuleika Lopez and the findings of the task force investigating threats to the president's life. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo further inquired if the respondent was subpoenaed by the NBI and present during the investigation. Senator Judge Bam Aquino sought details on the methodologies employed by other NBI agents in identifying the alleged contracted person and verified with the defense if a specific denial had been entered in the articles of impeachment regarding this allegation. Theme number 3, procedural integrity and interagency timelines. Senator Judge Amy Marcos, augmented by the presiding officer, noted discrepancies in the timelines of events as recorded between the official subpoena and the witness's executed affidavit. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo examined the status of the case referred to the Department of Justice, noting it has been pending for over a year. He strictly reminded the NBI to ensure complete procedural accuracy in the filing of future complaints and questioned the House prosecutors regarding their awareness of these documentary discrepancies. Senator Judge Alan Cayetano inquired into the witness's knowledge of parallel investigations potentially conducted by other agencies. Senator Risa Ontiveros sought clarification.
Para ika nga mamaya pagka sinalansan ho natin yung ikalawang araw dito sa second week ng impeachment trial. Medyo updated ho tayo kung ano mga nangyari kahapon dyan sa mga kabalbalan nitong si Lotok at nitong si Ligutan.
Whether the NBI's factual findings were different between the filing of their original and the second affidavits. Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo clarified the witness's specific operational scope, establishing during cross-examination that Attorney Lotok was not involved in the initial receipt of the complaint before the DOJ. Following rulings by the presiding officer on various evidentiary motions and objections by both parties, the trial was adjourned. Pursuant to the rules of procedure on impeachment trials, the impeachment court will resume session tomorrow, Tuesday, July 14, 2026 at 2 p.m. The agenda includes a continuation of the prosecution's evidence in chief for Article 4, scheduled witnesses for tomorrow, are Attorney Lotok, then Attorney Zulaika Lopez.
Dapat si Hilong Kalilong ipatawag din siya ulit kasi yung ibang mga tanong ng defense dapat ina-address talaga dito kay Hilong Kalilong, no. Dapat nandun din siya. Siya yung pumirma ng ibang mga pidapit mga
I
investigation.
also want to address the elephant in the room.
Ano yun?
Last weekend, Senator Panfilo Lacson made a public statement which I welcome because he confirmed the existence of Rule 18 of the Senate Rules on Impeachment and that only the senators can make a determination on the violation of any rules, which perfectly amplified the exact point I made to Nympha Ravelo last Friday.
Si Nimpa Ravelo. Ang birat si Nimpa.
Based on the transcript of that brief,
Ewan ko ba dito kay dapat Attorney Reggie, nakita mo GMA 7, sipahin mo na palabas. Nakita mo na News 5, sipahin mo na palabas. Mga vlogger, imbitahan mo dyan, sigurado walang walang kabalbalang tanong ang ibabato nila sa'yo. Puro matitino lang ang lalabas dyan.
briefing, my explicit response was, quote, "Hindi ko po sinasabing may paglabag si Senator Judge Robin. Hindi po ako senador para mag-make ng determination pong ganon. It is clear that I said that making such a determination is entirely outside my mandate and beyond my pay grade. My role as spokesperson is to explain the mechanics of the sub judice rule under Rule 18 as a general concept, not to make any determination of violation by any senator. As a lawyer, I also know Article 6, Section 16 of the Constitution, along with the Senate rules and the Supreme Court decisions, that the power to discipline belongs exclusively to the Senate as a collegial body. Senator Lacson, being a seasoned statesman that he is, was absolutely right to publicly reinforce that boundary and hierarchy.
Hinay-hinay ka, Brad. Baka bukas wala ka na sa trabaho mo. Kaya dapat galing-galingan mo. Konting pasip-sip dito, konting good job dyan. Di ba? Ganyan lang.
I appreciate his wisdom and guidance as I and him are one in a single purpose, to fiercely protect the institutional integrity, credibility, and hierarchy of not only the Senate, but also the Senate as an impeachment court. Any questions?
Attorney, nakausap niyo po ba si Senping about that? Attorney, nakausap niyo po ba si Senping about that? Or is it the first time na sinasabi niyo po yung ganyang statement sa media?
I was with him in the elevator kanina, and I mentioned that I will be thanking him for his public statements.
So parang wala namang bad blood
Wala po.
between the two of you?
Wala po.
Okay, just curious lang about Sunday's podcast ni Senator Cheese. He mentioned moving the trial by morning. Is there any update on that po?
I think it will be considered by the senators after the SONA. So before the SONA, we will still push through with the current schedule. But after the SONA, I think they are considering whether to transfer the trials in the morning or retain it in the afternoon.
But it's a very serious proposition naman po.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because I think the concern between the Senate President and the presiding officer is how they will be able to manage the time. Because if the trial is in the morning, there will be an allocated exact time for it to finish. Because there will be a legislative agenda for the afternoon. So if it is in the morning, I think the presiding officer does not want the trial to drag on till the afternoon. Compared to if it is in the afternoon, it can drag to the wee hours of the morning. I think that's just a very scheduling concern for the two of them to talk.
Given that the Senate trial could be moved in the morning with a limited time, wouldn't that extend the number of days necessary to complete the trial?
That's why they are still studying that proposal.
Attorney Mary Reyes from One News, One Page po. Si Attorney Zulaika Lopez po, we saw her earlier. Were there any communication from her part na she will be committed to attend tomorrow's hearing for trial?
She is required to still be here tomorrow because the subpoena ad testificandum that was issued to her hanggang bukas po yun. 2 araw, today po at saka bukas. So we will expect her to be here tomorrow.
Attorney, let's say lang po na kuwari lang naman po, hindi siya magpakita bukas. Buti na lang po matutuloy yung cross-examination ni Lotok tomorrow. Pero kung kunwari matapos kay Lotok, hindi magpakita si Attorney Zulaika Lopez, what will happen next po? Putol na po ba yung trial for tomorrow?
I think the senator, judges, and even the presiding officer expect Attorney Zulaika's testimony to go on tomorrow. I think the House prosecutors as well, they have been communicating to the public that they are ready to conduct their presentation of Attorney Zulaika Lopez, even insinuating declaration of her being a hostile witness.
Last na lang, Attorney, from my end. Nag-suggest din po kasi si Senator Ping kung pwede lahat ng scheduled witnesses for the week maagang ipatawag para madaling mapatawag kung sakaling kaya ng schedule. Napag-usapan na po ba siya ng court?
Opo, kaya po bukas po talagang naka-schedule si Attorney Lotok and Attorney Zulaika. And also I think pending din si Belinda Bello. Kasi nga the presiding officer is mindful that it might take time on Wednesday for the oral arguments to happen, especially with the senator judges being actively participating in the debates.
Sir. Yeah. Matthew from Malaya po. Para lang po sa kaalaman ng lahat, yung mga hindi pa po nakakaalam about this, no? Assuming po that Attorney Zulaika Lopez does not show up, meron po bang sanctions or penalties or consequences para pag kung sakaling hindi siya sumipot sa trial?
Of course, the subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum, no, both are legal processes that are required to be complied with by the parties. And of course, merong kaakibat na penalty, which is usually contempt kapag hindi ka po sumunod sa order ng court. So, alam naman po ng lahat ng abogado na yun yung possible na harapin na penalty.
So pag hindi po siya sumipot, pwede siyang maaresto?
Ay, of course, hindi po kagad. Ganon, bibigyan po ng due process yung witness kung bakit hindi siya nakapunta. So baka isyuhan lang po muna ng show cause kung may mag-move po. Pero kung wala naman po mag-move, then I think the presiding officer does not want to rule motu proprio on those matters.
Thank you po.
Hindi siya parang injustice committee pagka natripan nilang mag-contempt. Contempt ka agad, di ba? Ganun yun. Di na ganun.
Hi, Attorney. Hannah po from BNC. Curious lang po, do you happen to know if ano pong ginagawa kanina ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez dito kanina? Is it about the room assignment still? Administrative matters? Nako-coordinate po ba siya sa Senate Impeachment Court?
Yes, I think the secretariat was already, or the clerk of court was informed about her presence and her compliance with the subpoena. It was just not manifested by any counsel on the floor, but the presiding officer was already informed about her presence in the.
Meron ako nabasa, bottom pala si Attorney Ligutan. Paano bottom? Bottom? Pambihira oh.
Vicinity.
Ano ibig sabihin nun? Bottom pala si Attorney Ligutan. Ano? Meron ako napapansin yung pelantik ng kamay niya kakaiba eh. Meron pa ganun eh. Tsaka yung pagiging bungangera niya sa trial napaghahalata ako na pero hindi pa tayo sigurado diyan ha, kaya hindi pa natin pwede sintesyahan, okay? Pero meron ako nabasa pangalan Liam Blue. Bottom pala si Attorney. Ano yung sabihin yun? Bottom?
Opo, naghihintay po kung tatawagin po siya. Kaya lang po walang party po na nag-bring up nung matter na yon. So
Handa na si Attorney Zulaika talaga. No?
po, hindi ko lang po alam kung alam ng House prosecution po na nandito po siya. Hindi ko po masasagot yun sa inyo. Pero as to the Senate Secretary po and acting like as a clerk of court, alam po namin yon na she is here.
And then, attorney, natapos po ngayon 8 p.m. Ganito na ba palagi ang trial? Nakangiti kayo, attorney.
Yes, mukha based on experiences in ordinary courts, ganito po talaga, especially kung medyo on a tight schedule tayo na 11 days lang yung sa Article 4, so talagang kailangan natin i-squeeze in. So as part of court management, of course, the presiding officer wants to accommodate all the requests. Kaya nung may nag-request din na senator judge na to cut the cross-examination short, it was favorably ruled upon. Pero hanggat walang mag-motion to either party or a senator judge na i-cut short yung proceedings natin, we will continue on to the night. Ganun po.
For tomorrow po ba, sure na mape-present na talaga si Attorney Zulaika? Because what if mag-stretch po ulit yung cross-examination?
Hindi kita masasagot dyan, but yung ano mo, that's one one possibility na pwedeng mag-stretch. Pwede rin namang hindi mag-stretch. Hindi natin kasi alam how many more questions yung tatanong ng cross-examiner na si Attorney Binluan. We also do not know kung gaano po kahaba yung redirect kay Attorney Lotok at saka yung recross naman po ng depensa kay Attorney Lotok ulit.
Meron din po bang instances or pwede po ba na yung senator judge like kanina ay mag-move to adjourn or i-close na yung cross-examination? May mga ganun po bang pagkakataon to expedite yung process?
Oh, yes. Yes. That's allowed under the rules.
On what grounds? Anong circumstances siya pinapayagan?
Yung pag-adjourn.
Ka-cut short, sir, nung cross-examination.
Usually magsastate yung movant ng just cause, reasonable grounds. Kunwari, yung length of time that we have already spent hearing the witness, yung exigency of the case, kunwari, may emergency na nangyari or meron namang mga pagod na yung mga participants in the trial. So those are reasonable grounds naman considered by the presiding officer in granting the motion.
Hi, attorney.
Ay, sino po?
Rafi Aying. Rafi Aying po from the Daily Tribune. Sir,
Yung best friend ni Antigler yan, yung maitim na reporter diyan sa Malacanang Press Cartel.
apparent na-discuss kanina is yung mga flaws and discrepancies, the typographical error. Will the parties will be given chance to rectify that or is that part of the...
Paano ko ba sasagutin yan? It's the lookout of each party to either bring out those discrepancies if you're on the other side and to not highlight those discrepancies if you are the presenting side. So depende na po yan sa trial strategy ng mga abogado. So kunwari po, ngayon po nakita natin yung cross-examination na pinpoint po yung ganong mga errors or discrepancies na tinatawag. Now, the prosecution has the power to rectify that by asking sa redirect questions. Usually, papaklarify bakit may mali, bakit ganon. So, I mean, without, hindi ko pinapangunahan sila, pero part yun ng any lawyer's training po.
Yes, and as a lawyer, I believe hindi ka pwede magsalita nito pero parang humina ba ang kaso laban kay Vice President?
Ay, wala talaga akong judgment dyan. I cannot make that determination.
Thank you.
Okay na po.
Humina yung kaso. Ako nagsasabi sa inyo mga kababayan, humina ang kaso laban dito kay VP Sara. Nakakalungkot man nung sabihin, pero yung mga taga-prosecution, nasabihin ito sila ng alang-aling ngayong mga panahon na to. Dahil kay Attorney Ligutan.
Sa waray lang po, part po ba siya ng Filipino and the language? Just to clarify lang po.
Under the Constitution po, there are two official language, Filipino and English. When you say Filipino, hindi lamang po Tagalog siya, no? Yun yung turo sa amin. Hindi lamang po siya Tagalog, but it's a combination of different dialects po. So, baka hindi po ako yung tamang taong tanungin dyan. Baka dapat yung Commission on Language or ano, parang ganun. I think Filipino and English lamang po ang request ng prosecution. So yun lamang po yung nag-grant nung July 6 na resolution ng presiding officer. So when we say Filipino, of course, yung common na pagkaintindi natin na Tagalog po.
Attorney, sino po yung dalawang senador na wala kanina? Kasi naiklik lang yung attendance.
Ito-check ko. Hindi ko na...
Eh, si attorney, akala ko dati attorney Akala ko Lakambini. Lakambini ba tong si attorney? Hindi ko alam eh. Pero yung galaw niya parang nakikita ko sa kanya si Ligutan. Pero ito mabait si attorney Reggie. Yung first impeachment pa lang. Yan ang pinili ni Jesus Escudero. Merong something dito sa mama na to kaya pagka impeachment o usapan, siya lagi ang spokesperson dyan.
check kanina eh.
Best friend siguro niya ni Jesus Escudero. Best friend.
Yung may ilang senator judges din po na lumabas, yung iba 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes bago bumalik ng session hall. Any communication or info po kung bakit?
Okay, the senator judges can go out of the plenary.
Ito naman mga reporter na to, pambira kayo.
Meron silang monitors at speaker doon sa Senator's Lounge. So, pag nag-take ng break sila, nag-CR sila, naririnig pa rin nila yung nangyayari sa floor.
Pero attorney, kung kunwari may senator na nasa lounge lang, hindi sila kasama sa roll call, what does it say about the Senate?
Well, the Senate rules as a legislative body, supultory applicable yan. So, i-apply kung ano yung ginagawa usually sa ordinary plenary session. So, basta nagka-roll call na, you are already considered present. So, even if you go out of the plenary, considered ka ng present for that day, for that session.
Pwede rin pong malate sa roll call.
Pwede rin po, malate. Kanina po may na-late yata sa roll call. Okay po, thank you po.
Ayun na nga, ito si attorney. Tuloy na ho natin yung mga nangyaring talakayan kahapon dyan sa impeachment trial ni VP Sara. Doon sa second day, first day, second week ng impeachment trial ni VP Sara dyan sa Senado. Tuloy ho natin. Habang hinihintay natin yung pangalawang araw sa ikalawang linggo ng impeachment trial ni VP Sara dyan sa Senado.
Okay, I'm glad you pointed that out. Isn't Ricarte from the NBI?
Yes, assistant director po siya.
In other words, this is a DOJ document, but you made your subscription before an NBI agent. Isn't that supposed to be before the DOJ agent?
But again, wala akong personal knowledge dyan sa details na yan, sir. Siguro tanungin niyo kung sino ho yung naka-affix ang signature.
All right.
Sir.
But what is worse, if I can direct your...
Objection. Objection, Honor. You know, this council is in the habit of inserting,
Your Honor,
adding value
if we may
to what is otherwise.
Please be allowed to continue, Your Honor. This is our time. We've given them enough leeway, Your Honor, after more than hour.
Kaya nga, kanina kayo, daldal kayo ng daldal. Di nagsasalita yung defense. Hindi nga nag-object yung defense eh. Itong best friend, itong boyfriend ni Jude Asidre.
Let him lay the basis of his question.
Yes. Kaya nga.
All right, can I direct your attention to the upper right portion of this IDF? It states docketed 3/7/2025 and there is a docket number XVI-INV-25C-00048. Again, this is not with the source of this document is not the DOJ. This is your receiving copy, correct? In fact, this was part of the subpoena documents which you sent to the House of Committee on Justice, correct?
Objection. Compound questions. 2 questions.
Okay, I'll
Kindly reform, counsel.
so, all right. My question is this, okay? So, do you confirm that there is a
nandidistract yung mga nasa prosecution habang nagtatanong tong si Attorney Villuan. Tawa sila ng tawa.
A marking on the upper right which says docketed 3725, and there's a docket number assigned.
In this document, sir, yes.
All right. We manifest, Your Honor, that this is still the same Annex G9. So in other words, you're telling this court that this document was subscribed on February 11, 2025, received on January 30, 2025, and docketed on whatever it is, July 3 or March 7, 2025. Is that what you're saying?
That's compound. That's compound. You're asking 2 dates and asking for one question.
No, Your Honor, I just described the document
Exactly.
as it
Compound
is.
question. Ask one question per date. That is exactly the genius why we don't allow compound questions. You are asking 2 questions and asking this witness to answer once. That's dangerous. That's compound question.
Counsel, presiding officer will clarify the matter. Questions were earlier asked already with respect to the February subscription and the January 30 receipt. Insofar as the docketing is concerned, do you see the numbers and or dates 3/7/25, Attorney Latok?
Yes, Your Honor, in this document, there is number 3/7/25.
And for clarity, NPS docket means National Prosecution Service.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Opo. Yes,
So
Your
it's a
Honor.
docket of the National Prosecution Service.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed, counsel.
All right. So now I'm showing you pages 169, 168, 169 also of Annex G9. This pertains to the affidavit of Agent Kalilung, which is an attachment now to the revised affidavit of investigation. You added this document to rectify the January 30 affidavit of investigation, correct?
Again, sir?
You added this document in order to rectify the January 30, the first affidavit of investigation, correct? And we will confront you with the document. Again, these are not our documents.
The document was signed by Agent Mark Kalilong and subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Van Homer Angluben. Sir.
Okay. So in other words, I just want to take a look on the date. Can we flash the date? So when you received the February 5 certification from the DOJ, you executed this, and it was February 10.
Objection.
correct?
No,
I'm not the one
that's
who
now
executed
misleading.
it.
That's misleading. It's Agent Kalilong who executed that, and then you're asking you executed that. That's misleading.
No.
It's clear
But
on the record.
But this is part of the revised affidavit of investigation, which this
Objection,
witness
revised.
co-signed.
The
If he
witness
knows.
already said
If
that
he
they
knows.
did not revise it. They just complied. Misleading, Your Honor.
Oh, you want to
Misleading.
go? Okay, since the,
Counsel, kindly settle down. The question, Attorney Lotok, is did you add, in order to comply with the DOJ requirement, this affidavit signed by Agent Kalilong? And is the date February 10? Meaning in compliance with the DOJ observation, is this one of the affidavits that you added? And is it dated?
Although I don't have my record, it appears so, Your Honor, based on the document shown to me by the counsel.
Both as to the fact that it was one of the affidavits added and as to the date, Attorney Latok.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All
Move
right.
on, counsel.
I am showing you another affidavit. This is page 178 to 179 of Annex G9. This now pertains to the Gueran affidavit. This was also an attachment to the revised affidavit of investigation.
Objection
correct?
again, Your Honor, please. The continuing use of
Your Honor, please, pwede mo bang itigil yung bunganga mo? Ha, ligutan. Ligutan. Your Honor, please. Your Honor, please, sipahin nyo sa mukha si ligutan.
when this witness already said that they did not revise anything, they just complied with the requirement. That's now misleading.
Your Honor, just
many times over, misleading.
All right, just to put this issue at rest, Your Honor, I'm confronting the witness with a letter to Richard Anthony D. Fadulion dated February 11, 2025. And I want to read, Your Honor, the last paragraph thereof. It says, to support our recommendation, attached herein is the revised affidavit of investigation. This is not our document. This is the NBI's document. Can Attorney Lotok be confronted with this document, please?
It
Attorney
was signed.
Lato, please answer.
Yes, Your Honor. It was signed by then Director Judge Jaime B. Santiago.
Can you confirm the last sentence for the record? Can you read it for the record?
Magaling tong si attorney siya.
To support the recommendation, attached herein is the revised affidavit of investigation, including its attachment.
Can you repeat the word before the word affidavit of
Ask and
investigation,
answered,
please?
Your Honor. Ask
Asked
and
and
answered.
answered.
Then I'm not misleading after all. Anyway,
Objection, Your Honor. That's an unnecessary statement.
Ikaw nga unnecessary yung ginagawa mo, daldal ka ng dakdal, parang kang ano di ba? Sarap mong, buti nga si, Your Honor, please, hindi ka sinisipa sa mukha eh.
Counsel, you're supposed to ask questions and not make these remarks.
Counsels, kindly settle down. We're about to wind up the day.
all right. I'm showing you now pages.
Walang wind up.
Proceed. 178 to 179 of the revised affidavit of investigation.
Hanggang bukas na ay dito. Wind up.
Can we be confronted with that document? The date is February 10, 2025. I just want to confirm the date if that is correct. As it appears from the document.
As it appears here, 10th day of February 2025.
Oh, very well. I am showing you now pages 187 to 188 of Annex G9, also a Kalilong affidavit, which is an attachment to the revised affidavit of investigation. Can we flash the date of that document?
Nako. Parang alam ko na kung saan papunta to.
What's the question?
Also February 10. So in other words, you attach this to your revised affidavit of investigation.
It appears here, 10th day of February 2025, sir.
And you attached it to your affidavit of investigation, correct?
As an attachment, sir.
All right, very good. Now, showing you 199 to 200 of Annex G9. Now, this is the Asuncion affidavit. And I'll make a point in a couple of questions, Your Honor. Can you just confirm the date also and if it was attached to your revised affidavit of investigation?
10th day, it appears here, 10th day of February 2025.
All right. So it was attached also to your revised affidavit of investigation.
Assumption. Yes.
All right. Now this is the question. I'm showing you now page 112 of Annex G9, another Kalilong affidavit. Did you also add this to rectify your January 30 affidavit of investigation or the first affidavit of investigation? We have here a soft copy, affidavit of transcription. Was this also a document that was lacking in your first affidavit of investigation, which you added to your revised affidavit of investigation?
Again, Your Honor, registering my continuing objection as to the relevance of this series of questions that is consuming the entirety of the defense's turn to cross-examine this witness. What's the relevance?
Noted. Same ruling. Witness may answer.
Again, Your Honor, the
Was this also part of the revised affidavit of investigation
OA.
to rectify the defects that we highlighted a while ago?
no, there was no rectification. There was no defect. Again, this is part of the compliance given us by the Department of Justice for us to comply.
All right, if you want to use that term. So in other words, after you received the Feb 5 certification, this was also one of the documents that you attached to your revised affidavit of investigation. Correct?
I believe so, part of the compliance.
All right.
Sir,
My issue is this. Let me direct your attention to the bottom portion of this affidavit. It says here, in witness hereof,
Pagka nagbabanding silang dalawa ni si Dre. Oh.
I have, can you zoom that in? I can't read it.
Oh.
The date is February 3, 2025. Can you zoom that in? So in other words, you are trying to convince this court that when you...
What's the question? What's the question?
This is the question.
Nandidistract to si Raulo na to. Papunta na siya dun sa question. What's the question? What's the question?
Are you trying to convince this court that you executed this affidavit prior...
Objection, misleading.
He did not execute
not.
the affidavit.
No, sorry. You attached this affidavit prior to the Feb 5, 2025 certification?
Prior to what, Your Honor? February 10?
Okay. You received a certification on February 5, 2025,
Yep.
correct? And you said that you added affidavits after receipt thereof. Now, you mentioned a while ago that this was one of the affidavits that you added, and yet the date came prior to the DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025. Do you confirm this?
I think ang makakasagot po niyan si Agent Calilong, Your Honor, kasi may mga attachment na kami during the first affidavit na-include na doon sa mga nire-require ng prosecutor na nandun na. And then nung nag-issue ang prosecutor gaya po ng number 2, the press briefing, sige muna. Ito, Your Honor, gaya ng number 1, there is no affidavit of the persons who recorded the video entitled BP November